The December editorial of Taiwan Business Topics is entitled Two Challenges for Drug Pricing. As discussed in the issues column of this month's magazine, encouraging progress has taken place on a number of AmCham Taipei's 2012 Taiwan White Paper recommendations since the document was released in early June. The Chamber's Pharmaceuticals Committee is currently anxiously watching two other developments that could have a highly positive impact if treated properly, or an extremely adverse one if mishandled. The first is the idea of implementing an annual drug expenditure target DET system to help the National Insurance Program, hospitals, and pharmaceutical industry manage the question of drug pricing in a fair and predictable way. Currently, the Bureau of National Health Insurance, BNHI, sets a reimbursement price for each drug, after which the hospitals negotiate discounts from the manufacturers, leading to a gap between the real transaction price and the amount that is reimbursed. Efforts to eliminate the gap through periodic price cuts only set off a vicious circle in which more cuts and more demands for discounts ensue, but the gap never disappears. Instead, the major result is that drug prices in Taiwan are now among the lowest in the world, about 28% of the U.S. level, so low that manufacturers are increasingly unwilling to launch new products or maintain certain existing ones in this market. The losers are the patients and their physicians, who have fewer options available for medical treatment. Under DET, the market would be stabilized by aligning the increase in annual drug expenditure with the amount of growth in the overall NHI budget. If the target is exceeded, industry would commit to make up the difference. For the past 4 months, DET has been on the agenda of the Department of Health's Medical Expenditure Negotiation Committee. But the committee, which goes out of existence this month, has not reached a conclusion. AmCham calls on MENC's successor body, the new NHI Committee, now being established, to institute DET as early as possible in the new year. To put drug reimbursement on a firm footing, however, action will also be needed on the second development, a plan to drop prices on original drugs as soon as their patents expire. This notion was included under Article 46 of the second generation NHI legislation passed in January 2011, but the implementation details were not discussed until a few weeks ago, just 4 months before they would go into effect. The proposed huge scale of the cuts, up to 30% of the existing reimbursement price, and the immediacy of the impact without any meaningful grace period to give industry time to prepare, have come as a shock to the manufacturers. Adding to their unease is uncertainty over the methodology to be employed. Most new drugs are covered by numerous patents, not only on the chemical formula, but also on the production process. How will it be determined that a production has gone off patent? Further, the BNHI plan proposes to adjust prices on a quarterly rather than annual basis, creating an administrative nightmare for drug companies and hospitals. The second generation NHI program, starting January 1, is a chance to create a sound healthcare system to benefit all stakeholders. To accomplish that, DET is needed, and so is a practical and rational approach to dealing with just off-patent drugs.